Hi everybody, Sensei's Thoughts. I know you love these videos, I know you can't stop watching them, so here's another one. Okay, I'm filming where the location today is Towing, Mid Wales, okay? So I don't know if you got to see that. Right by the beach. I usually get about 10-15 minutes break and whatever, so make you guys a video. So our tournament is karate in the Olympics gonna ruin karate, just like a lot of the negative thought people who think about these kind of things. You usually find that they're people who are scared of change, or people who are really set in their ways, or people who are like traditionalist. I suppose what I'm going to try to discuss in this video is what are the pros, what are the cons, yeah, what do people get out of tournaments, and what are we going to get out of the Olympics, what are we going to lose, or what could you lose, or and that kind of thing. Now this is off the back of we just come back from the official 2018 Welsh Karate Championships, where you compete in categories such as kata, team, well it was pairs kata, it wasn't really team kata, kumite, fighting, team and pairs. They also had a disabilities category, which was really good to watch, and some really good standard, and some people competed in both, in the disability category and in their age and grade category as well. So was it a good experience? Okay, yes and no, just the same as every other tournament that you attend. The negatives is everybody has an opinion, everybody has a different view on what's good in kata, what's bad in kata, what should be and shouldn't be allowed in sparring, yeah, what's happening if you lose. It's rare for people to be graceful in defeat and to say, yes, the other person was better than me. Okay, we almost always look for excuses. I lost because of this, that the judges were biased, or so this is, I guess, is one of the negatives from competing, is it will always be a difference in opinion. Okay, it's very difficult to swallow defeat and just to say I wasn't good enough this time, or the other person was better. Okay, so that generally leaves a not so nice taste in your mouth. Yeah, so so that would be one of the negatives, I guess, from competing and not actually winning. Having said that, losing isn't a negative of tournaments. Losing is a positive in my view. Some of the best athletes and the best karateka, in my opinion, are the ones that don't do good to start with. They're the ones that persist. They're the ones that keep going and keep trying and push themselves harder and harder and achieve that quality, that good, that win from their hard work and determination. So the other sort of negative is, well, to do with these opinions. I mean, spectators. Okay, everybody is a critic. Yeah, everybody knows what's best. I had to move a couple of times last Sunday, just stood by parents who just didn't stop through the whole display, let's say, and it was, I can't believe he's done that. Look at that! Come on, ref! Look, he scored, and all this kind of stuff, and it just doesn't leave you feeling very good. In my opinion, if you do something, or you hear something, or you even say something yourself, and it doesn't leave you feeling positive, feeling quite good, then, you know, did you need to say that? Did you need to participate in that event, or that thing, or that conversation? Yeah, no matter what it is, I'd say no, probably. Then maybe there was a better way to handle the situation, maybe there was a better way to have that conversation or whatever. Okay. Other negatives are people believe that the tournament sport style karate, okay, so sparring, okay, I don't think this applies to kata, but some people would disagree with me. So sparring as a sport, I don't think it reflects karate, the basics or the fundamentals or the whatever of karate. It's a different element. Will it take away from karate? I don't know, it depends. I had to really think about this because we had quite a positive buzz from our first tournament, and it was the official Welsh karate tournament, and we had 4 people coming away with medals. So it would be quite easy for me just to get all carried away and caught up in the tournament thing. I mean, we had 7 people competing out of 90 to 100 students who could have competed. Okay, so that's less than 10%. So if I started focusing every lesson on the tournament stuff, making sparring, making more effective sparring for the sport sparring, kumite, we focus on kata anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. But if I just focused on that, I would be neglecting possibly a lot of the basic stuff that I think, your key on, the foundation of your karate that makes you good at the other stuff. I think it's easy to fall into neglecting that and neglecting other aspects of karate just for the kumite. Okay, so I guess that's a negative. So there may be other negatives, I don't know. I think people are worried about commercializing karate and things like that with the Olympics. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a raise. So this is my first pro probably. It raises kind of awareness of karate and popularity, and you might say that that's a bad thing or whatever if you're a traditionalist, because people will just want to do the sports side of it. But I disagree. I think it will raise awareness. I think you only have to worry is if you're not really teaching the right stuff, or you don't have that foundation to teach the right stuff, or you haven't had the right teaching yourself. I think that's would be the only reason to think that it's going to have a negative effect. Or if clubs completely focus on the sports side and neglect the art and the traditional side of karate. Other good thing is it opens your eyes to how good your karate can be, and maybe that's a bad thing for some clubs, but it exposes your standard. So if you go there and you see, wow, look at these people doing their katas, look at these people doing, and there's all kinds of styles there. There's Wado, Shotokan, Shuturu, Gojuru, Shukukai, all these different styles of karate, all these different things, but you could see there was some wow standard karate there as well, yeah, and really, really good, and it exposes yourself. It's like, it can be intimidating, yeah, but that's a good thing because it pushes you forward, makes you push to seek that in yourself, that quality and that standard, and so I think that's a good thing. Sorry, my phone is just buzzing at the minute. I don't know if you can hear that. That's a bit annoying. As far as tradition and things like that, it actually has made me look deeper into the tradition of karate, and I want what's best for my students. I mean, you can't tell me, even the people who competed last Sunday who didn't win a medal, we had 4 out of 7 that competed that came away with medals. Even the people that didn't were buzzing coming from there. It was a real experience and real adrenaline rush, and just competing against these awesome karateka, some of them are like European champions and things like that, was just an eye-opener, and everybody came away wanting to improve themselves, or wanting to learn new kata, wanting to push themselves a bit further, and the ones that were medals, they were chuffed. They were so chuffed that they were medals. They were so happy. You couldn't look at that and say, well, it's a bad thing. Okay, it wasn't even a bad experience for those who didn't win medals. So I don't think it's a bad thing for those who won. And I know that they're already talking about the next tournament and blah blah blah. I just have to keep my head on. I think we've got another 3 tournaments this year, and they're very close together. Like the next one is in about a month now, and then with the one after that is the following month, and then we got 2 months then until the final one of the year. A couple in Cardiff, one in Wrexham. So I got to keep my head on and actually realise there's not a lot of time to prepare to become a champion, I think, anyway. I think we do have people in the club, people who want to compete, people who have the heart of champions and who want to go for those medals and who will eventually work their way up to the standard that they need to be to win medals, but or to win the actual tournaments, to go for gold. But it's a long process, yeah. So I got to keep my head on and not put too much pressure on the students, too much pressure on the club, too much pressure on the instructors to get the standard up to winning gold medals next month. And so that the training doesn't affect their training for their grades. That foundation that I was talking about earlier that we need to put in place to make sure that the quality of karate on the whole is good. So, conclusion-ish. This is like an unscripted video as usual, but conclusion, I think tournaments are a good thing. I think the Olympics is going to be a good thing, providing your instructor, your person who's in charge of your club, keeps their head on their shoulders and doesn't neglect the basics and the fundamentals just to push for those medals, and doesn't neglect the rest of the club. Not everybody wants to compete, and it shouldn't be a focus of the whole club or association should be focused on medals, I don't think. Some people just want to enjoy karate, they want to get fitter, they want to be healthier, they want to socialise, want to be part of a family, of a club, want to support each other. I don't think people should be pressured or be neglected because they don't want to compete. If you want to join the club, if you want to compete, just let me know in class and we'll sort it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your comments are. Do you think it's a good, bad thing? Were you at the tournaments? Did you enjoy it? Do you want to try training? Do you want to try training more, learning more katas? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, I'll see you next video. Keep up the good work, dragons.